Hey everybody, how you doing? I'm Pabs, a rising VTuber and artist, and today we're gonna be working a little bit on. That's odd. Hold up. Let me reposition my mic. What is up with this thing today? Hold on, my mouth. Wait. No, hang on. There we go. Yeah, my mouth was just feeling a little bit stiff. I had to play around with the settings in whatchamacallit, PNG Tuber Plus to right some wrongs. But how are you all? I'm Pabs, a rising VTuber and an artist, and today we're gonna be publishing. Publishing it might not be the right word. I'm going to be making some eats for the affiliate send off stream on Saturday. It's just now occurring to me that I also forgot to publish a live now notification, so I need to do that. I've been getting really inconsistent with that. like I've noticed that I more and more often keep forgetting to like actually post like, "Hey, I'm going live," which is the thing you do to like let people know that you're streaming. I don't know. I generally stream at pretty much the same hours, right? Like if I have a stream announcement, you can probably kind of guess, oh yeah, Path should be streaming around this time. I don't know. I feel like that's been one of the things that has helped me a lot. Is just like maintaining consistency in what I do. But yes, as you can see, there are a few different items that I want to take inspiration from. Mainly, I want to take some inspiration from Jupiter's designs. Jupiter made some really cool food ideas based off of different people, including myself. And as always with Jupe, they were absolute fire. So I want to try and leverage those where I can. I also want to do a couple of different things that are more kind of like carnival-ish. I don't know. I as odd as it may sound, I want the experience of the auction to feel very much like you're getting grifted by some random dude at a swap meet. I don't know. I want it to be a little bit greasy. I want it to be a little bit like a little bit like, is this guy is this guy trying to scam me or not? I also needed a couple more references, so let me get those up now. Particularly the one that I'm looking for. Oh, here's kind of like what I was looking for a little bit. I'm looking for like disposable soup bowls, basically. And the reason for that is for this one here. Hey, it's Jupiter. Hello. I was just talking about how you helped a lot with you created these designs and you made some absolute bangers. How was your stream? How was Hypnospace Outlaw? Which part are you at so far? Yeah, go follow Jupiter. Jupiter shows off some absolutely fantastic games, very underappreciated games, I believe, that really have a lot of interesting variety that might not have been as popular. Working on finding the accelerator. Ah, I remember that one. God, yeah, that one was so convoluted because you've got because of like the puzzle, right? Like this dude is coming at you like the Sphinx, saying being all like answer my riddles 3. Like, bro, I am not interested in your riddles. Yeah, Haunted PS1 demo disc Thursday. Go tune into that when that's available, which will be Thursday, for reference. I'm kind of digging this one. I'm just gonna grab the bowl. One of the fringe benefits that I haven't discussed about like I'm part of a server I'm part of V's server, right? And so sometimes I get it in my head to do like these lightning fast edits of different images. And that's been really good for me because I get to it's been a very good exercise for figuring out how to make an edit as quick as possible. It's just really bumped up my image editing skills. I try to look up upside down soup bowl, and just to kind of like see if that might be a thing at all. Actually, hang on. I might have found like a real winner here. Hang on. Like almost like a sort of ramekin here. Ramekin is such a good word. I don't think it's utilized with sufficient frequency. But yeah, check this thing out. Yeah, that's a bowl of upside down soup. I don't. This one looks much more impressive though, as one of the search results. Also, I'm trying to look for a very specific. Here we go. This specific thing. Also, I gotta tread carefully on this file because this has literally all of the items for the auction blocks, and if I spoil some of those, it's not gonna be a fun time for all of us. I'm gonna have to pull like one of those misdirection plot twists at the end of the season just because like everybody's already guessed the plot line, and you have to have some kind of twist in there towards the end, or else the ratings won't stay up at all. Actually, have any references in it? No. I'm gonna call this a reference folder. God, yeah. I remember the accelerator part of Hypnospace Outlaw most. Oh, yeah. But before I keep yapping, as always, I'm sure you've had a. This looks like some yummy snacks. Yeah, we're gonna be making a little bit of carnival food, or at least carnival food styled snacks. But yeah, Jupiter, if you need to head out or kick up your feet for a while offline, feel free to do so. But if you want to stick around and chat, you're always welcome to stay. So yeah, well, today's focus is going to be on these food items. So first, I kind of wanted to have like a very cheap option, a low price option, a medium price option, and a high price option. So that's kind of like what some of these are for. So I wanted to make the very low price option actually one of these things, which are like puffed rice cereal bars, right? So if you've had like a crispy rice treats, it's a little bit like that. Gotta see the chef at work, of course. All right. So let's see here. I've actually had a couple of these after I there used to be an Asian store near where I live that used to like basically try and get rid of these as much as possible because like they're always like I don't know, they're not exactly perishable, but like they're like very cheap and very small, so you can always kind of like get rid of them to make some space. And I was surprised to find some more after I moved to where I live now because of the fact that well, I didn't expect there to be so many Chinese snacks in a Western country, but they sure are here. I don't know. I don't know how they got their hands on these. I haven't seen them since, so I'm guessing maybe it was like a one-off thing, and they accidentally just like have had it now, and then like they ran out of them. It's a very strange situation, and it's a little bit difficult to describe it yet. On the topic of carnival food, what is y'all's favorite carnival food? I haven't been to a lot of like Western carnivals. I've been to like foreign culture carnivals because I lived in a lot of like foreigner communities. So what would always end up happening is like we would have different like little stands with each family from a different country presenting their own country's form of food, and you could just like walk around and grab some of that. Hey, what's y'all's favorite carnival food? I don't know if I've been to a carnival, but I've been to a state fair, which has similar foods. I reckon so. Yeah. Hard for carnival food to beat those. True. I mean, yeah, you have like deep fried Oreos, but can that beat a plate of beef stew from like a random Eastern European country made with love? I love funnel cake. I've had some funnel cake fries before. They were really good. Probably not my vote, but have you had whoopie pies? I have actually. There was a store. There was like this bakery near where I lived that did those, and my friend loved them. I wasn't a huge fan of them because the frosting was a bit much for me. Hang on. These also remind me of Umaibo bars, if you've ever seen those. These things. I kind of want to make a design similar to one of these things. It's crazy because we have like this little Doraemon looking guy in almost all of these, and then all of a sudden it's just like anime girl flashbang, and also whatever this guy's deal is. But the little cartoon guy is also there. I wonder what's up with that. But yeah, I actually had to Google what kind of foods they serve at carnivals and state fairs and whatnot because like I said, I don't have a good reference for that, and some of these are kind of crazy. Like I said, one of them is like a deep fried Oreo, which is an interesting concept to me. I've never, I don't know much about deep fried foods. I wasn't aware that was a thing you could do to a cookie. Like I thought you just ate it as is, or turned it, or crushed it up and put it into ice cream. But apparently, these folks had other ideas. In some states, you can get deep fried butter. Mm. I have known exactly one dude who can eat butter just like straight up. And the idea of having, well, I guess it also must be some kind of like novelty snack almost, right? Oh wait, you know what would actually go really well with this packaging? I could make it almost look like my head. That might be a little bit off-putting though. A little bit. I don't know. Is that grim? Like is that it looks like if I put my thing here, it looks like I've been stretched out and I'm screaming. In my state, we usually have the normal corn dogs, hot dogs, and like. I'm also in a southern state, so lots of barbecue stuffed pulled pork and stuff. Ooh, that's nice though. I like that. I'm gonna make a little window here. It's time to scream. I scream, you scream, we all scream for puffed rice snacks. I did learn about a machine that is used to make puffed rice, which is basically like a small cannon. The idea is that you heat the bottom of the kettle of the cannon to within like close air pressure to pop the rice, and then once the rice is all done and cooked, you let the cannon fire, and it creates like this. You basically shoot the entire contents of the kettle into a bag. Jumbo turkey legs can be more of a Ren Fair thing, but they're around. I did see one of those as like one of the carnival foods things. That's crazy to me. I didn't. I don't know. I think the how do I put this? Like the idea of just being able to like sup on a turkey leg while you're walking around like a carnival is hilarious. Instant winner with the teeth on this wrapper. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, I do think this is gonna sweep. It might literally sweep as well because this is gonna be like the cheapest option as just like a basic little candy bar snack. I need to put like a tiny mascot rice piece on there. Like what kind of graphics do these ones have? This little guy just seems to have a variable, no one set outfit, frankly. A little bit of blue, a little bit of red in there. Mostly primary colors, I'm noticing. Hmm. Taking a look at fair foods online, we do consider an elephant ear. Do we consider an elephant ear funnel cake like thing or a flaky crispy pastry? That's definitely more crispy and flaky. Yeah, and I've had elephant ears. They're so good. I remember there was like this one place with a swimming pool where when I was young that like had those as a bite to eat near the pool, which as a kid I thought getting cramps before going into the swimming pool was going to be a way bigger deal than it actually turned out to be, which is to say not really a big deal at all. But yeah, elephant ears are so good. This is a weird F. I'm trying to make an like a balloon bubble text F here, but it's not working out. That's not the object tool. My fault. Yeah. God, I remember my brother taught me how to make. My brother was briefly interested in a lot of like on a lot of interesting things that I didn't have any interest in myself, but like he taught me a little bit about them. And one of them was like making bubble text like this. I don't always think of them as the fair food, but I feel like I'm always on the hunt for a good fried green tomato that I don't have to make. Fried green tomato. I've never heard of that one. That sounds kind of cool though. They're so good. I gotta Google this. I gotta get eyes on this thing. Fried green tomato. Yo. Okay, I can now I understand the concept behind it. They're sturdier than a regular tomato. Tap in. Mm-hmm. I'm tempted to. I'm tempted to. Okay, I'm understanding the appeal now. Right. Okay. Now the pieces come together. Excuse me. I think I salivated so hard I choked on my own spit. Chasing a good corn fritter as well. Honestly, I corn fritter. I haven't heard of those. Excuse me. I'm gonna go get a drink of water real quick. The thirst killed him. No. All right, I'm gonna go get a drink of water real quick. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm good now. I'm good now. Oh my god. Let me get an eyes on corn fritters too. Interesting. I don't know what I expected them to look like, but they're very pancake-ish. I'm into it. I'm into it. I know apple fritters though. I know those guys on a deep level. I understand those. I'm gonna make like actually, you know what would be a good mascot? A little like Pac-Man rice beast. I think it was a good decision to make rice beasts have canonical, huge gaping maws that they can unleash at any time. Oh yeah, one of the foods that I was surprised to find listed as a carnival food was like a soup, and I did try to like find out if there are like soup festivals. I am the reason why is because I'm deeply enamored with the idea of like like the soup in a crock shaped like my head. What other kind of things do they have on here? Peanut flavor. How about like plain flavor? Yeah, I have Rolling Girl in there as like as like the one jump scare as like the one song with lyrics in the entire playlist to jump scare myself. I was like, okay, no songs with lyrics on this playlist, none. But I was like, but then I saw like Rolling Girl was on there still, and I'm like, okay, we allow one. We allow one. We allow one song with lyrics in here. I'm gonna add some more like rice flakes here and there. Yeah, fun fully intended. You cooked with a right with a Pabst head soup crock. But yeah, to give some context for like how big these are, they're a little bit longer and a little bit less wide than say one of those fun size candy bars, right? Yeah, these kind of are all just kind of stuck to each other, so I might as well. But yeah, no, I'm very excited to be working on stuff for the affiliates and it's been a minute since I've tried to do like something truly goofy. Like I think the last one that I did was like the Christmas tree decoration stream, and that one didn't have nearly the kind of production value that this one's gonna have. Like it did have some production value, right? Like it's not like I half-assed it by any means, but but for this one, I'm like setting up like custom commands using a bot. I'm doing like I've been doing some stuff behind the scenes, and I'm hoping everybody will be pleased with the outcome. Let's put these around here. Oh yeah, I was talking about trying to research like different soup. I want to say like portability measures. That's not a. I don't think that's a word, but basically some easy to use soup containers. And so the other like a couple nights ago, I looked up like soup festival on YouTube, and it provides some decent results. There's like an Alabama bean soup festival. I think there's a few Japanese soup festivals where like they make taro soup, which is apparently pretty sick. They have like this huge pot that they brew it in too. The bean festival has like big pots too, but like the Japanese one had like a really big one, like really big. Like the bean soup one had a soup pot like that you could still conceivably carry around. The Japanese one needed a crane. Easiest to transport. Soup dried like it's extra crusty fruit leather. Yeah, that we have astronaut soup here. It's like flash frozen, just like astronaut ice cream. Hang on, I want to put. I feel like we need to add something else in here. I kind of want to have like a cheeky message, like it's edible. Because that I think inspires confidence in the consumer. Huh. Is there like I kind of want to put a like barcode on one of these. Is there like a way to won't break your teeth? Actually, that's a good point. These ones up here are actually pretty hard. So I don't think that won't break your teeth might actually be a very decent form of advertisement. Hang on, I want to look something up. Can you generate a barcode to include a specific message? Oh yeah, you can. You can make like a hang on, text to message data. Oh, hang on, this is a QR code. I need like a linear code. Oh, what fresh hell is this? Okay, code 1 and 28 barcode has capabilities for text. We're in. Hmm. All right, I'm going to implement that at a later date, but for now, this is good for like line art. I feel like this is good for like a low end tier of snack. My mouth isn't moving again. Why is that? There it is. Hold on. I think I gotta do a little bit more with the messing around with the with the PNG Tuber Plus thing. I don't know. Lately, it's been getting a little bit finicky. Maybe I need to update it soon. All right, that's like the low tier one made. Then we move up a tier. What is in the next tier? I think the best next tier is the is not the gulab jamun one, but the little like rice flour donuts here is what I wanted to do for the next tier. Yeah, these are mochi donuts, I believe. I learned from recently the other day from those twin dog VTuber girls on from Hololive that they're also called pon de rings. Is donut pronounced okay? Is donut spelled with like DONUT or DOUGHNUT? Because I've seen it done both ways, and I'm wondering if it's like one of those like gray is spelled with an E in the UK and with an A in America sort of deals. I figured the one with strawberry frosting would be a yeast donut and the matcha would be mochi. Ah, clever. Hmm. I'm looking for a very specific kind of paper wrapper for the donuts. Actually, wait, hold that thought. Check this thing out. This is like a donut case, isn't it? Oh my goodness. That kind of goes hard. The difference in spelling doesn't matter much. Let me grab my donut book. Funny enough, I did actually not me like technically, but my brother owned a book on different baking stuff, and it had like an entire subsection dedicated to the bagels. And I wanted to learn how to make bagels, so I started reading this book, and it had like scientific shit behind it because it was like a high level university degree cooking textbook. So I tried to read all that, and I'm like, I'm not reading all that, and then I didn't read all that. Hmm. There's like this one sort of store called Paris Baguette that does like these like little half wrappers. I don't. I think Paris Baguette is like a. Hang on. If you've never seen what a Paris Baguette looks like, they look a little bit like this for the most part. They basically just have a bunch of different breads for sale, and you can like use little pincers to grab the one you want most of the time. I'm looking for like a very specific. Hang on. With wax paper. Still recovering from planning on trying a bagel from a local place in Brekkie Sandwich, but grew a wee bit of mold too fast. That's on me. Oof. Nothing sucks more than having food expire on you. That's like, wait, hang on. Okay, kind of like this, basically. But yeah, no. Like if I make something and I don't like it, that's like that I can accept that that's on me, right? Like I can be like, all right, this isn't to my taste, but at least it's still edible. If it grows mold before I can do anything with it, I feel like I failed. I feel like I have squandered the opportunity to make something delicious. It was a sun-dried tomato bagel. Yo, that would have gone hard. My condolences to you. If you ever feel like trying your hand at being adventurous with a bagel again, I highly recommend seeing if you can get like a rosemary bagel because there's a place around me that does rosemary bagels and it's incredible. So soft and tall. Oh god. Okay, put this over here. Adding that to the list for my travels. I like that how you said my list for my travels as if it's like if as if it's like a checklist of revisions. Jupiter's out here gonna be traveling to throw the ring into Sauron. Okay, grab this. I can just move it over here. Perfect. But I totally get what you mean. Sometimes when I don't go grocery shopping too frequently, so whenever I make a list of things to get next time, I do almost feel like I'm making like a list of provisions. Like I'm like a homesteader in the old west, and I'm going to the town to buy supplies for the month, and I'm making sure that I have the list in my head all sorted out, lest me and my family starve in the winter. I already have Soronish looking peepers. That's true. God, that would be a. I remember you talking about like what would like a Jupiter game be? Now I just kind of like imagined having one of the like a lost contact lens with that like Sauron eye design that you have, just kind of like floating around, and that's like the super boss of the game. Like you lost one of your contacts, and now it's become the super boss because it just looks that dope. Okay, then put this over here. Insert joke here about Chain. I'm not familiar with that game. Tell me more about it. I would appreciate some context. All right. I'm at an interesting impasse here because I could use the a ellipse tool to make the little rings for the mochi donut. Actually, come to think of it, I need to widen this out a little bit. As it is, it looks like it's kind of creasing towards the middle there, and that's not what I want. Haunted PS1, it was a collaboration developed like a game of telephone. Interesting. I always find those so cool. Like, there are these animations on YouTube where like a bunch of different animators all try to like take a stab at the subject in question, and it's always quite fascinating. Each chef could only build off of the game made by the dev before. They weren't allowed to communicate, so you could see ideas and threads created and dropped. Huh. Neat. Okay, add this here. Okay, put this here. Paste this. God, that's such a funny idea, though. I remember there was like this one Tumblr story about a person who was taking like a computer programming course. I love the first appearance of the eyeballs, but the later games developed, jokingly said, into fighting for my life being chased by eyeballs. Oh god. They create one dude was like, "Hey, we should include some eyeball enemies in here." And the other and like the other devs on the team were like, "This could be a motif." Chain is free on itch.io. Interesting. You could make a motif out of this. Hmm. I need to get rid of these lines here. It's crazy that I'm fighting for my life against a rapper. This is genuinely causing me more problems than I thought it would. Oh yeah, I was talking about this one Tumblr story about a person who was in like a coding class, and one of the exercises that that the professor for that class made them do is that they wanted the students to make like a very basic piece of spaghetti code, like just make a really awful code basically. And what the purpose of this exercise was that once they had made the code, it was just like a whatever piece of code. It just needed to be a little bit weird. They needed to give it to the person sitting next to them, and they would have to implement a new function for that code without being able to like refer to the person who originally made it. So the idea was to kind of help them to understand that there are situations where like they will have to create something and then somebody else will need to come in later on. So that it's just to practice good, excuse me, documentation and whatnot, which I can appreciate. I always appreciate well done documentation. Like some documentation is better than no documentation, but well done documentation, oh baby, I am on one knee and I am proposing to you. Like there is genuinely nothing that brings me as much relief as going onto a website that has information that I want and it being easy to access, despite how, shall I say, esoteric my question might be. According to the book I'm looking at, the origin of donut/donut as a word is unknown. What? Donuts came from the Dutch making dough fried in pig fat. It always comes back to pig fat. That's something that I'm noticing a lot as a trend in like carnival food is that a lot of it comes back to pig fat. From what I understand, that's probably because like pigs were just cheap to rear, right? It makes sense that they would go for something that's like low cost and then just turn that into like the kind of food du jour. Who needs the ellipse tool? I do. I shouldn't tempt fate. I need the ellipse tool. I, this is going pretty well, but I'm not gonna go ahead and tempt fate just for the hell of it. Yeah. Speaking of soundtracks, the Katamari soundtrack has been made available on like most streaming platforms now. So you should really take a listen to it. The song that played just now is from the Katamari soundtrack, so you should take a listen to that if you get the chance. Donut dudes argue which spelling is the right one. Donut, as you might assume, is the older one. I did actually assume that. It's funny that you say that I assumed that because that's exactly what I assumed because of the fact that it has dough in it. I wonder if the nut part is from like the fact that it looks a little bit like a nut in like a mechanical thing. But if it is like that old, then that might not hold any water either because that would have been made before metalworking was a huge industrial metalworking where nuts would have been a commonplace object was a thing. Donut has been seen from 1880s, but it got popularized in the 1950s thanks to Dunkin' Donuts. It was about time those guys showed up. I was wondering when they would appear. God, I remember back when I was like in middle school, there were two places. There was like a bus stop that I needed to go to frequently because I commuted from my school to my home on the weekends. And so before I would get on like a long bus ride to go home for the weekend, I would always load up on snacks, right? It was like a small tradition for me. I would like be like, all right, no bullshitting, no tightening the purse. We're gonna get some good ass snacks on for the trip. That was like a once a week event for me. And there were two places that did donuts. I love donuts. I really like donuts. And there were two places in this bus station that did donuts. There was a Dunkin' Donuts initially, exclusively the donut place, but then they opened a Krispy Kreme, and that changed everything. The snack indulgence. Canada, Australia, and the UK prefer their nut to be spelled with dough. I don't know why that made me laugh. That's a funny sentence. Trying to figure out how to do this wrapper so that it can like wrap around. I think maybe if I start from the back, that might be a little bit easier. That might be the way to go. But yeah, I tended to get myself stuff from Krispy Kreme to have like a snack on the trip. The only issue was that like I usually only had a few. I had like 20 minutes, to get to the bus before it left the station. And so, hang on. And so I had to be kind of like quick with my snack indulgences. It was a big station, and like some of the places like Krispy Kreme took forever to get your order out. I think we mentioned brought up corn dogs earlier as one of the festival foods. I remember the first time I ate a corn dog because it was like fairly late into my life. I was like 9 or 10 years old before I like understood what a corn dog was, and I saw one that was available for purchase at a like at another one of those like community fairs that I talked about. I think it was like almost like a spring holiday or something kind of fair. And one of the places they'd set up had a corn dog had corn dogs for sale. I was like, I've never had one of those, and they were like, try one, and I did, and like I had no idea what it was, and I bit into it, and I was so excited. Like you've got the cool thing about corn dogs is that it has like a little bit of a representative from every major food group except vegetables, which is why I think it's so popular with children. Like you've got your fats, you've got your proteins, you got the carbohydrates. It's like a sandwich with fun baked into it. If there was a flaming hot Cheeto dogs and ramen dogs, surely they can be a rice corn dog, either with puffed rice or chewy dough. Funny that you mentioned that. I looked it up on Wikipedia. There is in fact an entire franchise, a chain of restaurants called Chun Chun Rice Dog, which specializes in making like corn dogs with rice flour. Yeah, Korean dogs do use flour. The dog on a stick is dipped into rice flour batter and rolled in breadcrumbs before frying, which creates a crispier crust than traditional cornmeal battered hot dog. Yeah, yeah, that was one of the fruits of my research is learning that there is in fact already a rice dog, so to speak. I that's another thing I didn't know about corn dogs. I didn't know that the corn part of its name was from the fact that their dough is made of cornmeal. Do I make the donut bigger? Whoops, didn't mean to erase that part. Hmm. Okay, now it's coming together. Yeah, redoing the wrinkles on this really helped to help me piece together what it's supposed to look like. What's your usual donut flavor pick? Hmm. Near where I live, they have like hmm. I don't like ones that are like stuffed. I don't like stuffed donuts. Like cream filled donuts. I'm not a huge fan of those. A little bit too messy for my taste. I honestly really like ones that are sweet but simple. Like I mentioned before, my I really enjoy apple fritters. Like they're I live in Canada, so we have Tim Hortons here, and so I really like getting their apple fritters if I am getting an order from them. But if it's like a proper donut place, I really like ones that have hmm. Yeah, no, like what do you call honey glazed or just like sour cream. Not sour cream. Like there's one that has. I gotta look this up. I don't know. Let me flip the question on you. What is your usual donut order? Which donut is the one that always picks your fancy? Okay, I like a sour cream glazed donut. Let me pull up a picture of that. Wait, that's not right. Sour cream plain? Yeah, I like these ones. That's my journey. I used to be a jelly donut kid, but then I had a gap where I didn't really do donuts. I see. It has a fucking lock on it? I didn't I didn't even notice that the first time. This is definitely like a meme thing. Finding myself a donut. Mm-hmm. You had to go and do an entire hero's journey sequence just to rekindle and rediscover your love for fried pastry. As happens to many of us. God, yeah. No, I am very much. I find myself relating very much to like animals eating because of just how protective over my own food I am. I am I am very protective over my food. Like if you ask if you can get a bite of my food, I will very likely let you because I'm a little bit of a pushover. But if you just take part of my food without asking, I am going to get mad at you. I'm gonna get mad at you. Opening your donut holder with another donut holder would be a blunt force. Accidentally starting an office fire from trying to bash two donut holders together. The lock picking lawyer should do a donut holder episode. Is that guy on YouTube? I feel like that guy's probably on YouTube. Oh, Rachel Seven. Well, welcome back. Hey, hello, welcome. I'm Paps, a racing VTuber and an artist. Today we're making a few snack foods based on like carnival foods and also some designs from my cool friend Jupiter. Yeah, let me do shout out Rachel Seven. What are you up to? Are you still working on a Lies of P? Or were you switching it up a little today? Actually, while I'm at it, let me shout out Jupiter again. You get a shout out, and you. Oh, I have to wait 29. I have to wait 10 minutes between shout outs? Bullshit. Yep, Lies of P. I tend to just play one game at a time on stream when I'm progressing on them. Oh, I'm the same way. I've been playing Yakuza 0, and I would feel very strange suddenly switching up what game I'm playing on stream because partly because I only play games once per week on stream. I'm more of like an art streamer. Shout out suck for that. That's why I have exclamation point shout out command as well. That's true. I can actually set one of those up now that I've got streamer bot running, can't I? I'll have to figure out how to set that up too once I get off stream because I feel like doing that on the fly might be a little messy. Much like shrinkified football players, doing that would be a little messy. Yeah, I hope you had a great time. If you're feeling a little tuckered out, feel free to do your own thing and head on out. But if you want to stick around, I always appreciate the company. I like popping a shout out. I get to write a description for it. Oh. Yeah, that's one of the few weaknesses of Twitch's shoutout system or like built-in shoutouts is that they don't let you like personalize it or show which game the other person was playing before they had it in. I don't know. That seems like a pretty big oversight. I use a tool that lets me do both my own one and the slash one at the same time. Interesting. I do have a few customized ones though to pop for room fees. Uh that's always a nice touch. I think that's always a super cute touch when you can personalize it for the fees. For das fees. I really like the word oomphy. I don't use it a lot myself. I know some people who do use it a lot, but I don't use it very often myself. But it's a very charming kind of way of saying like your pal. That's oomph. No, little German streamer, don't go into the slash shadow command. Oh my god, this queue is full of oomphy shoutouts and what the fuck am I saying? I'm thinking actually maybe instead of like an even coding, why not do like one of those fancy like I could probably do this on a what do you call line layer. In like a sort of more pinkish magenta color. And make the pen size rather large so I can futz around with the size of it. No, little German boy, don't get into the complex online friendship circle politics. Oh my god, this politics is full of Listenblocken. Do not interacten. My apologies for any Germans who might be listening in on this. I sincerely don't mean to mock your language. God. I remember there was this one like Dutch newspaper who had a headline, we have an serious problem, which was very difficult not to internalize. Okay. This one might be a little thick. This one string of frosting might be a bit thick. So drizzly, looking good already with just that one bit of color, right? The drizzle is what is the maker or breaker. It's the maker slash breaker. And then just for a little extra something, we're gonna add the outline to it, and then yeah, there we go. And this also helps a little bit because now we can tell where we need to add a little extra something. Okay, we can leave that one alone for now. Ooh, wait, hang on. Actually, there we go. Now we can leave it alone. I'm just hoping to get the line art done for these before I start going too ham with them. But yeah, this should be good for just like a base idea of what I want. Okay, then we're gonna go one tier up. This one's gonna be a fairly straightforward one. I want to do like the Tool cup drink, which I thought was a fabulous idea. I wanted to make it like one of these reusable tumblers here. I briefly considered making one look like a Stanley cup, but I thought that would be in poor taste. And also that joke would run itself aground, much like the ship in the in the like Suez Canal. Is that the one? The Tool glass of water, correct. I remember seeing your post that I was like, I should have made it like some kind of like vodka jello drink instead of like actual water, just like some kind of clear-ish substance. I thought that was pretty funny. I actually wanted to make it look a little bit like, hang on. Uh, there was this one Baskin Robbins thing called a flying soda. And I'm gonna need you all to like really bask in this thing. This water isn't water. Fake cutscene fun. Yeah. Yo, this water is banging, yo. That's 100% pure ethanol fuel. you stupid, you stupid customer. But yeah, check this thing out. Now, I remember getting a couple of these when I was living in a place that sold them, and they were decent. They actually had like little coconut jelly things in there too. That looks horrid. All right, all right. I'm gonna take that on good faith because you don't know how good it is. All right. So to give you some context, all right, let me break this down for like what it is. The main drink in here is like blue flavoring and Sprite, basically. I'm guessing it was probably like some kind of like Hawaiian blue kind of flavor to it, kind of like how you have for like shaved ice in some places. Never been to a Baskin Robbins before. Hmm. I don't know how many there are in general. I don't know if it's like a popular chain. I know that it's popular enough to be recognized as a franchise, but I don't know how popular it is. But yeah, up top here, you've got a scoop of ice cream, and it's like cotton candy and those little blue rocks in there. It's like bubblegum cotton candy, and those little blue rocks in there are like those like pop rock things. Fairly popular? Hmm. Okay. With like streaks of jam, right? That's what this drink is. So that's why I was. It's the world's largest chain of ice cream specialty stores with more than 8,000 locations. Okay, so maybe it's a little bit more popular than I gave it credit for. But yeah, that's basically it. It's just ice cream with Sprite, and little bits of the ice cream and the Hawaiian blue, and it had like little coconut jelly chunks in there. It was good. It was good. Looks can be deceiving. It might put you off at first due to its radioactive blue, poison dart frog ass color scheme, but I promise you, it's decent. It's food. Actually, I think in Mexico they also do Mexico decorated cup drink. I forgot what the name of it is. Like a vaso de fruta? No. Recently on Twitter, I've been following this one. Is it cup? Hang on. I need to find like the name of this thing. Oh, I know what you mean. I think. Yeah, yeah, like yeah. It's got like Hang on. Let me put up a picture of something that's like what I'm picturing. It's a little bit like this, basically. I don't know what the Spanish name for it is though. Uh, God, this is really gonna bug the crap out of me. What is the name of this? Chamoyada? Maybe. Let me see that. Might okay, I think it's getting close. It's getting close. That definitely looks more along the lines of what I'm picturing. Should I? I don't know. Maybe I can like look up like Mexican street food. Oh yeah, speaking of street food, Mexican, not even Mexican, like roasted corn as a street food clears. Genuinely, it's so good. I love just a whole ear of corn. Hmm. What's the name of this thing? Michelada, tal vez? La michelada. I'm trying to look this thing up. This crazy cup thing is very similar in concept. No, that's too plain. I mean, I was about to say it's a little bit too plain looking. This one's pretty fire, but it's not quite what I'm looking for either. Hmm. Gonna head off now, but hope the rest of the stream goes well and doesn't make you too peckish. No problem. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you for stopping by. Hold on. Tacos al pastor, tacos de... I'm looking at a list of like Mexican street foods, and these are all tacos. These are all different tacos, taco variations. Oh, though they have fried plátanos fritos, which I will admit is an incredibly based food. Aguas frescas? Hmm. Crazy decorated cup, Mexico. All right. If I don't find it within the next 3 minutes, I'm just gonna call it there. I'm just gonna move on. Bocadillo de taza mexicano, tal vez. If I look at maybe if I look it up in Spanish, it'll be better. Okay, no, maybe that's like a tal vez como golosina, comida de comida de calle. Let's see. En taza. Taza decorada mexicana. I'm like doing some kind of brain like I'm picturing in my mind like a one of those like incredible sequences for that sequence where like Mr. Incredible is looking at the screen just like seeing like the models slowly eliminate each superhero. Taza con muchas cosas mexicana. Copa con muchas cosas. How is it possible that I'm getting better results looking it up in English? This is such a strange occurrence. Uh, salted rim street food. God, please. This is okay. This is gonna be the last one I look up. Okay. Tucayas, no. Memelas Doña Vale, no. Lechoncito de oro. Tacos de lechón, no. Tampoco. Tacos de Carmen, tampoco. Comedor típico de la abuelita. Allá con tu abuelita. Taquerita, best Oaxaca street food. Fancy Oaxaca street food. Come on, you gotta have something for me. Nieves Chaguita. Cangreburger. Yo, let me show you the cangreburger guy. Sorry that the Mexico insider is cutting it right in the middle, but check out get a load of this guy. He looks so happy. Marquesitas. Oh. No, that's not it. Castillo de Humo. Super Jugos Angelita. Tortas La Hormiga. Alright, I'm giving up. I'm just gonna grab this and we can and we'll work from there. Listen, it's important to know when you're beat. Let me put it on top of the umaibo. I remember it existing though. I vividly remember like a super fancy cup drink. Or at least fancy looking. Kind of want to make the glass in question a little bit like more stout too, just so it's a little bit more tool like. A little bit more like tool rather. All right, this one has like a flared cup part, so maybe I'm gonna try and do that too. And that would let me get a symmetry tool in here, so just so I don't kick myself in the future for not doing that. Or actually, I kind of want a lopsided view of it. So no symmetry tool, but maybe like some kind of cylinder somewhere. Hmm. Okay, like a slightly narrower base. Me when I'm trying to describe the proportions of a violin. God, I shouldn't talk to people who know a lot about like classic string instruments because I'm gonna say some shit like, oh yes, and the what's it called? Like the cello is just like a really big violin, isn't it? And then they would be obligated to kick my ass to defend their honor. I don't know how technically wrong that is, but I can't imagine it's right. Because otherwise, I feel like we just call like a cello a really big violin, like a grand violin or something, right? The English language is very easygoing that way. Also, before I knew what a piccolo was, I thought that before I knew what like a piccolo actually was, I used to think that it was like some kind of I didn't think it was a flute. I thought it was also like a string instrument, but I didn't think it was like woodwind instrument. I kind of love the different classifications we give different instruments. You know, we've got your percussion instruments, we've got your brass instruments, we've got your wind instruments, occasional brass wind instruments, what have you. I wondered it. Trumpets did exist before like we invented brass, right? Like they would have had to. That's how like in ancient times people announced their arrivals that they would have like a little guy with a trumpet toot out their opening theme like they're a wrestler. I am pretty sure this is how it worked. I don't know. Does that mean that if we have trumpet-like instruments have historically been used as signaling devices in battle or hunting, with examples dating back to at least 2000 BC? Okay, so we didn't even have them before metal. In fact, I think before metal. I don't know. 2000 BC sounds pre-metallic to me as a sort of time period. Also, I lied. We're bringing in the symmetry ruler, but in a fun angle. The bronze and silver Tutankhamun's trumpets from his grave in Egypt, bronze luters from Scandinavia, and metal trumpets from China date back to this period. Oh. It's crazy that Tutankhamun has trumpets in his tomb. Like, imagine if a sports fan asked to be buried with vuvuzelas, 2000 BC and earlier. Mm-hmm. Like bro said, I might get a little bored in the afterlife. Make sure I've got like some kind of new hobby to pick up. And the chord musician was like, "Bro, I know just a thing." I don't know, like obviously, I'm assuming that Tutankhamun had some say in what went into his sarcophagus. How much of it was like other people being like, all right, let me now I get to put one in." You know, as they were putting him in that huge pyramid of his. Like, how much of it was like a was it like a kind of group project is what I'm asking because I'm assuming that once he died, you know, he I don't imagine he would have been able to like veto a lot of the things that they put in there. What if like some dude who was just really into Beatles suddenly said like, yeah, and actually let's put like a gold beetle in there. I can provide the beetle. Just like let me just stick it in there because I think he'll really like it. Are you sure he wasn't a huge fan of bugs? No, trust. This is gonna go crazy hard. I remember reading this one. The problem is I can't find it again. I'm always hesitant to tell this story because after I read it, I looked it up on Wikipedia again and I couldn't find it. And that bugs me because that means that either the story wasn't true in the first place and got removed by a Wikipedia admin, or I can't verify the source properly, and that bugs me in turn. 2013 gamer has to be buried with foam diamond pickaxe. Respect. Honestly, respect. God, 2013. More than 10 years ago now. God. I wonder how he's doing in heaven. Or, the other place, depending on how he lived his life. I don't know. I reckon that if you get to, like, if you're, like, kind of like an average Joe and you get to be buried with some of your belongings, I reckon you've done pretty well for yourself. I don't reckon you were too much of an asshole throughout your life if you got to choose what you were buried with, right? Like if you get buried with anything at all, that already means that you've got people who are willing to do that for you. Hunting the Ender Dragon for whatever the end game is nowadays. God, there's like, I remember that they started like they introduced like a hammer and it's got like things from like triple end game bypass sections, and I cannot fuck with that, unfortunately. I'd rather just install a mod and make a hammer that way. But yeah, I remember they introduced these hammers which do more damage the longer you fall with them. And some dude within like a day of them being out was able to like prove decisively that you needed to be like 200 blocks up to one shot the Ender Dragon. Which is a pretty baller move, I'm not gonna lie. God, I remember being like, what, 12 years old, 11 years old, and just dicking around in Minecraft with my friends after school in the school library, just on whatever computer we can get our hands on. And they weren't very good computers, so we often couldn't like do a whole lot of crazy stuff in Minecraft. But I remember those were some super fun days. And now the kids do that exact same thing, but with Fortnite lobbies, which makes it doesn't make me feel old per se. It makes me feel like I'm from a different generation, but it doesn't make me feel old. He tossed himself off the top rope. Oh, he did it! He killed the Ender Dragon. But what's this? Steve with Herobrine with the hammer from the top rope. God. I'm always gonna feel like we went the wrong way making Minecraft PvP be like this like parkour super like agility based thing. We should have made it more like a wrestling match. If the Yogscast took a wrestling bent, those fuckers would still be around. Is the Yogscast still around? Wait, hold up. I need to Google something real quick. I can't imagine they're like intact. Yogscast Limited. These motherfuckers are incorporated? Should have been Rumbleverse. God. Okay. It looks like they're still diversification and independence. Citing professional difficulties, the Yogscast maker left Maker Studios in 2016 and set up their own multi-channel network. They also partnered with Microsoft to produce and manage the Xbox on-channel YouTube on behalf of Xbox UK. In addition, numerous content creators such as Matthew Meredith, Basically, Baya, Geekstars Games, and Overwatch Central and Vidiots also joined as part of the largest Yogscast network. They made video games? As of 6th of June 2023, the main Yogscast YouTube channel has 7.09 million subscribers, 4.5 billion video views, and features 30 other YouTube channels. While the Yogscast Twitch channel has 945,000 followers and a total of 137 million video views. I was pleased to find out the other day that Knockout City, dodgeball multiplayer game, released a free version post-death. That's cool. Actually, that's really neat. I like that. It's always nice when that happens. I remember that was like the main bread and butter for City of Heroes for a while. I don't know. I don't know if like City of Heroes has completely died at some point. Like some dude just forgot to pay the bills for the server and it just fully died, or what have you. But yeah, I remember everybody really being a big fan of City of Heroes back in the day. So I'm glad to hear that at least a few games are making efforts to preserve themselves. Summon a Rice Beast? You got it. I summon Black Ice White Rice Beast. Alright. I'm gonna avoid having a... I'm gonna turn off the symmetry tool for a little bit because I need to do something with the rim of the glass. So I'll have it back on for just a minute. Aerial Rice Beast combat. God, yeah. I have a boss fight, and it's exactly like the Falk boss fight from Signalis, but instead of rotating bulletproof shields, I have I have like rotating rice beasts just forming a barrier around me. Actually, that gives me for an idea for like another snack that we could have on as part of this. I should make like a rice beast ice pop kind of Sonic the Hedgehog melted ice pop kind of thing. Actually, I keep thinking about like jokes that would be like topical jokes, but not particularly long lived for some of the bits in the garage sale. And one of the ideas that I had just now was to do like something based on like that horrible AI generated Willy Wonka experience. I'm not gonna do that for the record. I have too much artistic integrity. But I'm saying that I could have made some cheap shots of that if I wanted to. God. I hope everybody who was involved with that shit show is doing okay, except the guy who decided to run it. That guy can go pound sand for all I care. God, if I ever 5 or 10 years down the line, when I eventually do make like a VTuber Carnival a reality, like some kind of fucked up Sonic the Hedgehog villain motivation for Eggman. God, there is gonna be a Sonic the Hedgehog game where like VTubers are a prominent component, isn't there? Like, there's gonna be a reference to like one or two VTubers. I mean, Korone we already know has been in at least two Sonic. It's like a brand ambassador for the Sonic franchise at this point. So I wonder if like there will eventually just be a Sonic character who is just straight up a VTuber. Actually, I think that's what the Frontiers villain is. From what I remember of that, it's supposed to be like some kind of like an artificial intelligence robot, right? Sonic Boom 2 has an episode where Eggman gives all his money to a VTuber or something. That's what happened to the guy who won Capcom Cup. What else can we put in here? Like me, you know what I should put in here instead of these sweet and sour gummies? I should put in, yeah, one cheese bar. I should put in those like blue dolphin gummies. If you know which ones I'm talking about. These wee bastards. I can get rid of this picture for the time being, and also this one. How do I show them properly though? Otherwise, I need to be careful. Otherwise, they're gonna look like just fish that are in there. Hmm. I can have a couple of these lifesaver rings in there too. Maybe like a few random balls of. Maybe like these can be gumballs. Maybe the ice cream can be a little bit smaller too. A scoop of ice cream with some sprinkles on there. I can add the sprinkles later. Maybe some whipped cream too. Why not? This is such a this is such a messy looking dr- cup. I hesitate to call it a drink at this point. I don't know what it is. Really gives you the feeling of messily drinking from a bucket. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're gonna want a napkin for this one, bud. Take two, maybe four, maybe take four of them. Like you just know for sure that part of the thing is gonna end up on somebody on your shirt. Whipped cream tries to go up your nose. It's glorious. God, yeah. Actually, that would be a funny idea. What if I made Tool like a genuine like sugar maniac? Like they just really like sweet foods. Like they like Tool gets developed as like a clone villain and has like an existential crisis until I feed them like one whoopee cookie and they're like, I want to live. I want to live. Take me to the candy store with you. Hmm. Something feels like it's missing from here. Like maybe I need to put the straw closer to the middle. Maybe that's what's bugging me. I should eventually get off my ass and actually finish reading One Piece. I'll do it when it finishes. Yeah, fuck it. I'll just start reading One Piece once it's finished. Lord knows that they're not going to let that thing die properly. They're going to have some other, if not Ichiro Oda, they're going to have some other dude at the writing desk just eternally publishing the story of Luffy and Co.'s glorious pirate adventures. Dream sequence of diving into a sea of gumballs like they're Scrooge Ball and McDuck. God, grain entrapment with gumballs is gotta be like one of the top 5 worst ways to go. But what a way to go it is. Oh, hang on, I've got an idea. Son of Luffy, 567 chapters in, finds out he's adopted. He would have to be adopted too, is the problem. Luffy hasn't shown interest in a woman in what 1,000 plus chapters, and he's probably not going to start now. The 2 Piece is real. Actually, you know what might help? Actually, just moving the entire ice cream closer into bringing it in really, just so it's not like precariously dangling like that. The 2 Piece is real. Me when I find out that the suit I ordered off the rather classy suit that I ordered off of Temu is actually going to be delivered to my house instead of what I thought was going to happen, which is that I got scammed out of $40. I have the rare pride of like never having bought anything on like Temu or like one of those like drop shipping sites. Although I did get scammed one time trying to buy a mic covering for my headset microphone and finding out that they literally ran out of stock. Or I don't think they ran out of stock. What I feel happened, they said that they ran out of stock, but that can't be right because like they didn't say that they had any stocking troubles when I ordered it. And so what I imagine, what I actually think happened was probably that they were one of like those drop shipping places, and they realized, oh shit, we don't have enough orders to like justify the drop ship right now, and so they just canceled everybody's orders. Let's make this like a thick straw. Maybe I should also add a little umbrella. Now I think that should be sufficient for like a baseline. Okay. All right, I think that's good for like tools uh drink. A little bit too rotated, frankly. There we go. Maybe just like that. Then okay, we have the mochi donut. We have that. I think next is the soup crock, which I'm excited to get to sink my teeth into, or sink my spoon into, as the case may be. Oh ho ho! Let me get rid of this other random crap. Okay. I was thinking about combining the ideas of like the green taikori with the rice beans as the rice construction, and with the arroz caldo idea. Calling it a soup drink feels weird, but Oh no, I guess it'd be curry soup or curry cup. Soup cup? Soup cup. It goes back to that age old question. Do you drink soup or eat soup? I frankly believe that you eat soup. I guess it depends on whether it's like more brothy or more solid. Like for this one, for this one over here, which is like very clearly like a clear broth, much lighter, kind of like a chicken soup with some noodle in there. I reckon you could drink that. But this one over here, which is a thick, opaque soup, I think I see some like cheese grated on top of there, very full bodied. That's a soup you eat. That's an eaten soup. Okay, since all the items so far seem to be leaning in like this general direction, I'm gonna make this one kind of lean in that direction too. Hmm. I might as well use a symmetry tool again. Okay, remove that. Whoops, my fault. Wait, where did the other line go? Would you stop being so finicky? Thank you. There we go. Okay, then that's gonna go like this. Okay. The ramekin base isn't very tall at all, so I'm gonna do my best. Actually, hang on. God, this is such a fucked up marquee selection. Something about it is really bugging me. Hold on. Let me flip this upside down. Wait, no, that doesn't make sense. Yeah, this one makes a little bit more sense. Actually, do we even need the bottom side of this? I don't think we do. I don't think it adds much. What we can have is maybe just a thing like this with two little flappies here on the side. Wait, actually, you know who might be a perfect candidate for like one of those messed up ice treats? The sun. The sun would be probably really good as one of those like messed up ice treats. Oh, now I see why I can't just do it sideways like that. Hang on. Yeah, hang on. I might need to rethink my strategy here a little bit. There we go. No, but then we also want to get a good look at the inside of the cup, don't we? I might have to rethink my strategy here. The good news is that whether you want to look at something from like the top down or the top up perspective, some of it can be surprisingly similar. Check this out. If I just way lower this, let me get my hand in a good curve here. Yeah, okay. And kind of like this. Actually, forget this bottom half for a second. It's crazy how much I struggle to just make oval shapes. Like these seem to be a particular. I'm noticing that these are like a consistent issue for me. I don't know. Maybe I just have some kind of like animosity towards circles. Let's try this again. It's hard. The circle is a universal art struggle. That's true. You are 100% correct. Okay, and then okay. This is looking more like a witch's cauldron than a pot of soup, but we can roll with that. We just nab these little errant spots here. There we go. Okay. Having that's a slightly. Hang on, bring this slightly up a little bit. Okay, and then now we can take off the symmetry tool and add in the beast. And actually, we can also swaddle this with like some green cloth as well to kind of protect your hands from the heat of it. It looks like I'm wearing a very fashionable little scarf. Okay, then over here. It it reminds me a little bit of those like pictures you see sometimes of somebody who posts a picture of like the hotel staff who tucked their plushies into bed when they were left unattended in the room.